Hi, I'm Rami. I'm a co-founder at Underdawgs. We're a full services digital agency and a venture studio. This is just a quick post to let you know that we're going to be building a company 100% in the open from the ground up. So this means you guys can join the journey from the idea all the way through to the design and the delivery stage, through to hopefully doing some corporate partnerships and possibly doing some venture funding as well if we go that route. So if you're up for that, then please subscribe and click the bell. There'll be a lot more videos and content around what that journey looks like. So the immediate question is, why build something 100% in the open? Are we running the risk that will look stupid? And also, for anything that does work, just giving it to competitors on a plate. So yeah, I think to both, there's clearly a chance that it is yes, but we tend to think the pros outweigh the cons. I guess by building a company 100% in the open, we aim to achieve a few things. One, more trust with potential clients on the agency side of the business, and also our venture partners. So we're a bootstrap business and we need to use the income that we get from the client services work to push into our own ventures. And with that in mind, we need an effective inbound marketing strategy. We believe this content and the shape it takes in the midterm can be one of the better levers for this strategy. It'll hopefully show potential customers that we are actually pretty good at what we say we do. It also lets our customers self-select. So basically from watching a few YouTube videos and doing your typical due diligence, do we look like an outfit that you'll potentially want to partner with? Secondly, we'll start the long journey of building an audience with some of the most talented people on the planet. We're building a long-term business here, and not everybody that watches this will necessarily be wanting to start a company, either through paying for it themselves or doing a venture studio model. However, the goal is to start building a relationship with some of these individuals, that it opens the door to something in the future when they're ready. And the goal is by doing really authentic work and showing our wins and losses transparently, that we stick in people's minds, and as a team, that will be really good to work with for the future. Underscoring all of this work is really transparency. It's a massive trust builder. So that's why we think the only way to go is just completely authentically, and what will be, will be. We are prepared to do some dumb things, but hopefully it's outweighed by good process and just being decent at what we do. I think one of the other cool things is just to show everybody that there's always pain. Like, building something is hard, taking it from an idea and through to a revenue generating platform in the market is just full of ups and downs, even when you try and make it as efficient and clean as possible. There's a few other things that we think we can get out of this as well. By inviting you in as an audience, it will force us to be even more careful with our own processes and frameworks and approach to things. We want to become brutally pragmatic about building ventures and to not allow ourselves to get caught up in wishful thinking and blind optimism. Really is grounded optimism. That's the spirit that we'll look to embody. Second, we're building a bloody business. As a client services firm on one side, it's very easy to get caught up in just client work. But the promised land is, of course, your own product company, because it's inherently more scalable in a way that client services just is not. If I was to project a vision out 15, 20 years, I would like 95% of our revenue to be coming from the product side and not the client services side. But of course, Rome wasn't built in a day. We do, however, need to get moving. So in that respect, our content creation calendar ironically becomes the chief kind of cog in the flywheel of making sure that we're marching forward on our own business ideas. Finally, we might even find some early customers through this, but I'm not that fussed, to be honest. Content's content. Someone might find this and the venture we're building at the time might capture their imagination and we might get some customers that way. We'll be using our own launch framework for this project. This is a framework that we've developed that kind of marries all of the best mental models out there, the best tools and also other processes to just try and marry it together into something that takes you from as linear a progression as possible, from having an idea through to testing it, researching it, designing it and delivering it, and then just always being led by the best data you have at the time. Every step of this process will be documented. That'll be from the early ideas stage and noodling about on what we could do through the research, design and delivery phases, and like the painful bit of actually just knocking out a lot of product work. So again, the goal is to be extremely transparent throughout the entire journey. We won't sugarcoat our experiences or pretend everything's going really well when it's not. Instead, we're going to be sharing the experiences authentically as they come, always with an element of optimism, because that's just a part of being an entrepreneur. However, we'll never fudge numbers. We'll never fudge the feedback. It'll always just be served up as it comes in. So hopefully others can learn from our process, our framework, our mentality. So we're looking forward to going on the journey with you. Thank you for joining if you're still watching. And ultimately, look, building a startup's hard, but by doing it in the open, we hope to, for those of you who are also going to go build your own companies, we want you to think of us as a friend also in kind of the arena with you. And just to know that it's hard for everyone. even for a small business that don't have the ambition to take over the world, just building a small business is really hard. And so you've got a friend in us, we're on the journey with you. And yeah, thank you for joining the community and watching us build something with you. And there'll be lots of opportunity for you to feedback, either through the comments or through some Notion docs or our blogs. We'll often be reaching out to the actual community of those people who join us on this to get feedback and ideas. So first things first is, what should we even build? That will be the subject of the next video, of what is a good startup idea? How can you judge it? We've been doing a lot of research on that, and I'm quite excited to let that loose. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next one.